Hello everyone. As you can see, I'm ready for my first Christmas talk, hoping to do a talk for every Sunday in Advent, and got my Christmas hat on. Those of you who know me know that I really love Christmas. I love Christmas carols, I love getting together with people, I love giving presents. I love the whole meaning behind Christmas. It's really special to me, but obviously I know this year is going to be really different. But hopefully we will find some joy in the middle of all the madness. And so last Sunday at our pop-in for private prayer at number 49, Storm lit the first candle of Advent. This is something we've never done before, but we now have an Advent crown, and the first candle represents the prophets, and particularly Isaiah, who wrote about the coming of the baby 400 years before it happened. And they're some of my favourite words that we often hear at carol services. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Amazing words. And yeah, and then 400 years of silence. Oh my goodness, what a run up to a big announcement. It feels like maybe something went a bit wrong, and I love this illustration. I read it in a book, but it's something I've seen for myself with our grandson Tom, who's a really keen footballer. And in the summer months, one of the ways we could meet with family was popping over to the green, which is near to our house and their house, and just watching the children play. And if Tom was ever doing a goal kick, his run-up would be half the length of the green. He'd be like a little dot in the distance, and then he'd come pounding towards you. He had a very unique running style, and by the time he got to the ball and the kick, he was exhausted to this little kick, and it was all over. And maybe that's somehow how it feels a little bit about Christmas. Like poor old Isaiah prophesied those words, and then there was silence for 400 years before the baby Jesus appeared and everything started to get put into place. And maybe we feel a bit like that this year. We would just like to get past Christmas, actually, because we're hoping 2021 is going to be so much better. And I just read these amazing words. They're written by somebody at a charity called Life Words. Charity I really respect, who give amazing bits of literature away, and we're going to be giving some of their versions of the Christmas story away outside our number 49 over the Christmas period. And someone just wrote these words, and I'd just like to read them. As we approach Christmas, we look back on a strange, unsettling and chaotic year. So much has happened, so much news to process, respond to, have an opinion on. A global pandemic, political upheaval, racial injustice, environmental crisis, the list goes on. For many of us, this will have caused anxiety and stress, an almost overwhelming tide of pain, turmoil and injustice. For others, the effects may be less, but the regular punctuation of bad news chips away at our sense of well-being. It's been a year of loss, grief, and shifting perspectives, no matter who we are or what our situation. It may be tempting to race to the end of the year, to write it off and get ready to start again. But Advent asks us to pause, take stock, wait, and prepare for Christmas. This verse from Isaiah comes as a promise for those who've been living in the land of darkness, a promise that causes us to stop and wait for the counsel, protection, rescue, and peace that Jesus offers. It's been an exhausting year, so let's take this Advent season to stop, rest, and ask for peace, to acknowledge the pain and ask for healing, to consider what is lost and ask for God to fill us, to recognize that God is sovereign and relinquish control. This Advent, let us look back but also look forward to the arrival of Jesus, the light that the darkness cannot overcome.